Hello, this is the Fesley Les Paul style guitar, and I've actually been very, very pleased with it. I picked it up right after Christmas. It was on sale, and for the price I paid, I'm very, very happy. Uh, Overall, it's not like a traditional Les Paul. It's actually a flat top. I don't know if you'll be able to see here. A traditional Les Paul would be an arch top carve, but I think this is perfectly fine for what it is. If you really want the arch top look, there are other guitars available. But one of the things I like most about this is it has the toggle in the proper position. If you've played Les Pauls before, you kind of get used to having that there. And nowadays, a lot of them are down here to save money on the electronics. But regardless, I'm very pleased with this, and it's a very good sounding guitar. I was surprised. I didn't think it would sound as good as it does. It needed a little bit of setup, but doesn't every guitar you get online. I'm going to give you some sounds here. Excuse me. And hopefully this will help you decide whether it's something you're interested in. I'm running through my little tiny practice amp here. It's a little battery powered amp. And my Leo James Silverbox pedal, which is actually a great pedal. I was very, very pleased with that one too. Regardless, I'm on setting 27. If you have one, you'll know what this sounds like. It's a shimmer reverb setting. I think it sounds wonderful. So I'm just going to go through and maybe a little bit more volume. There we go. So I'll start in the bridge pickup, and I'll just play some chords and some single notes and let you hear what it sounds like. Then moving on to the blended pickups. And then moving on to the neck pickup. So I think that sounds very, very nice. Each pickup does something somewhat unique, and the neck pickup especially sounds very, very good. Do something a little bit, a song you may be familiar with. So personally, I think that sounds lovely. Moving on, get a little bit of distortion in there for you. Actually, one thing I'll do before I do that, the electronics or the pickups themselves are quite good. The electronic components are not so much. This has two volumes, so you can set the pickups at different volumes. Let's demonstrate that. So the neck pickup is now off, but I'll put a little bit of volume. And if you switch down to the bridge pickup, that's at full volume. So that can set up nicely. If you've used Les Paul before, you'll be used to that. The tone control is a single tone control. I prefer having two tone controls on a Les Paul, but that's neither here nor there. This tone control is not all that good. So I'll just give you an idea. Now bring it down to half. And you can hear a slight change, but not a whole lot. So I'll just go here. So you can hear it muffle a little bit, but it doesn't really take... it's a nice little change. But if you go down a little bit further, actually I was past half when I did that. So right about here, you'll notice a pretty big change. And completely off. It's a nice sound, but it's really, really, it takes everything out of it. So it's kind of an all or nothing sort of a knob. So again, it does a thing. It'll let you get that sort of more jazz sound and take some of the high end off, but it's not the best. Anyway, I'm going to move on and bring in a bit of distortion here. again, very, very sweet sounding. Sort of a Gary Moore. It just sounds very, very nice. And again, with that shimmer reverb, it makes it sound even better. So again, this is a nice sound. You can have the bridge pickup. I think that sounds lovely. A little bit, try a different amp model with a little bit more power to it. This is a plexi model. And you can kind of get another level of distortion. So again, I think that sounds very nice. And on the neck pickup, it cleans up really nice. It has, like again, it gets a sweetness. You can also do high gain with ease. I'll move over to a different setting here. Just bear with me. Go to page 3. So I think that sounds fine too. It's a little bit rattly. The neck needs adjusting. But overall, I think that sounds fine. The bridge is very comfortable. You can palm mute without any difficulty at all. And overall, the body feels nice. The fretwork is okay. It's certainly not the best fretwork I've ever seen on a budget guitar, but it's not bad. There's no edges where you'd ever catch yourself or cut yourself or scrape. But I've seen better in the price range. Regardless, the one area that I really wanted to point out that I didn't care for was the input jack. This is very loose, and I have my strap, or my cable wrapped into my strap here. But if I didn't, I'll just kind of demonstrate. I don't know if you can hear that. It's kind of rattly. Can't really hear it now. I think my cable's still fairly tight, but that jack is going to need to be replaced before too long. Regardless, that's to be expected in the price range, but I do think this guitar needed to be a little bit better in terms of quality to justify the price, because if it were an arch top, I would let that go. But again, I've had a lot of other budget guitars from Amazon that didn't have those problems, and I was a little bit disappointed in that for the price. Regardless, I think it's a good guitar, very comfortable to play. The neck feels great, and it's an open pore neck with a satin finish, and it just really feels lovely to play. The tuners are fine. They're nothing special, but they're not bad. And the hardware is generally quite good. So I also appreciate that the carbs, modern Les Pauls don't have the belly carve on the back of the body, which you can see here. That's a really nice feature. It's just so much more comfortable to play, especially when you have a tummy like I do. But yeah, I think this is a perfectly serviceable guitar. I'm very pleased with it. It sounds great, and I would certainly recommend it. I hope this has been helpful to you.